Hi, I'm Lisa from Lisa's Crafty Creations. Today I'm going to show you how to make a variety of different bows. Now, as many of you know from watching the video Getting to Know You, I was a florist, or I am a florist even. I started when I was 13 years old, and one of the first things I learned how to do was make a bow. Now I'm going to show you a few different types of bows, made with two different types of ribbon, and also two different widths. And then we're going to show you how you can make your bows look even nicer just by using two different types of bow together. Now, one of the first ones I'm going to teach you how to make is this chocolate box bow. Very simple. This is the easiest type of bow that you can make. It's not one of my favourites, but it does the job, and you can make these look even nicer, which I'll show you how to do later. What I've got is a standard ribbon. This is a standard floristry ribbon. It's 5 centimetres by 91 metres, but it's 5 centimetres width. It's a nice ribbon because you can make it into various different widths. Dead easy to do, where you just put your fingernail through and rip it like so, and then you've got these. Now we use these as the ties for the ribbon, and you'll see as I go along how I do that. So let's start. This ribbon you can buy from most craft stores these days. You used to only be able to get it from wholesalers, but now you can get it anywhere basically. A florist will sell it. I bought this one for £5 a roll, but I've had it a long time, so you might find it's a bit more than that. I think the last time I looked they were about £7 a roll, so they're still not bad, and it does last a long time. I mean, 5 metres does a wedding car, so that gives you an indication. You've got 91 metres, so you can do a lot of wedding cars. So that gives you an idea. Right, so let's start with the chocolate box, what I call, or what in the floristry world, well, where I came from, we called a chocolate box bow. Dead simple and easy to make. Unravel some ribbon, and then what you do is you get a tie, you get your end of your ribbon, and you make a loop like that. Now make the loop as long as you want the bow to be. So if you want a long bow, the longer. If you want a short bow, you know, whatever size bow you want. So that's one loop there, that's one loop of the bow. Okay, so decide what width you want your bow, and then pull it a bit further so that you're going to have 2 loops of the same size. Then all you do is just turn it round that particular thing, and you keep going like that until you've got the right amount of loops that you want. Then you stop and you make sure that the tie's at the end of the loop, and cut it off like so. Then fold it in half like that, and what we're going to do is just cut 2 diagonal lines at this folded edge. And you want some nice sharp scissors because it's quite thick. Then you get one of your ties and you put it through the centre to make sure you've got all your loops. Then you tie it in a knot. Like so. And pull it tight. Now I prefer not to knot it at the back. I would tie it round whatever I'm using. So I'm just going to use this thread. Tie it round, spin it at the back, and then bring it round. Now I would first of all tie it behind the bow, like so, and then actually bring it forward and tie it round the centre of the bow again, and pull it tight and knot it. And that helps keep the bow springing up and secure. Then all you do, you can either do one of 2 things with these ties. If you want to make it, you can just spin them like that. So you've got nice curly bits, and then I'll show you how to make that nice in a minute. But to make your bow, you then just pull your loops. Pull your loops out like that on either side, like so, and then you can move your bow loops around so you can make the bow look how you want it to. There. Then you get these bits, well, you get your ends, and you can make fishtails with your ends to make them look a little bit tidier and like they're meant to be. Oh, I always do that the wrong way around. There we go. And then with these, all you can do is you can rip them a little bit more so they're nice and thin. My nails have all snapped. Like so. And then you get some nice curly bits. And it just gives the bow that a little bit extra. Like that. Not the best bow. Oh, it's because I'm missing a loop. That was a simple one. There, that's better. So there's your chocolate box bow. Okay, so we'll put that to that side. And obviously, when you're on it's on your bouquet, it's going to look like that. So there's your chocolate box bow. Right, now what I'll do is I'll show you how to make your standard, what I call a standard floristry bow. There's two ways to do this. I will show you both ways. I prefer the second way I'm going to do it. But I'll show you what how some florists do it to hide the tie in the middle. So what you do is you make a loop like that, first of all. Make a small loop, and then on either side you put your loops. Now you then nip it in the middle like that and hold that with 2 fingers. Then you make another loop and scrunch it in the middle and hold that with your 2 fingers, and you just keep doing that. Bring the ribbon round, scrunch it with 2 fingers, bring it round. Now I actually twist the ribbon on it, so make a loop, then you can twist the ribbon like that, and then it brings it in a different direction slightly, and then scrunch it up into your hand. And you just do that for as many bows as you want, or loops as you want, and then when you're finished you cut it off. You cut it off. Then you get one of your ties and you put the tie through that first loop. This is the fiddly bit. You put the tie through the first loop, and then it wraps all the way around your bow. Now this is the hard bit, because you've got to keep all your loops together. And when you got it round the back like that, if you pull your bow up like that into your hands, it's easier then to tie the knot in the bottom. And as I say again, I don't tend to knot it, although you can do. And then the idea is that you just tie this again, bring it round the centre of the, I'm just going to bring this straight to the centre of the bow. Tie it when it does what it's told, tie it, and the idea really is you would put that in the centre underneath. Tie it nice and tight, double knot, and you open your loops up and pull your loops where you want them to go, just to give them that little bit extra. Open them up a bit, and then that sits in the centre to be your bow at the middle. just mess around with it until it's where you want it to be, and that's that one. You will put your ties nice and short, because the idea is that you don't see them in this bow. And that's your bow. That one. So there's bow number 2. Now I'll show you the way I always do bows, because I very rarely do the chocolate box bow or that bow, although the one I do is very similar. Now you need to get your ribbon out, massive ribbon. Now what I'm going to show you is well, now I'll just do a standard bow first. So then you make your loop again, squash it in the middle, and then basically you're making your loop. So you make another loop, twist, pull, make a loop, squash it in, make a loop, come on, make a loop, twist, make a loop, squash it in, make a loop, twist, make a loop, squash it in, make a loop, twist, and you just keep doing that until your bow is where you want it. You get your tie and you do the same thing as what you would tell you what, I'll just cut this and then I can put them all in something. So there's another bow tied on. Again, you would tie it round, bring it through the middle, not knotted at the back, bring it through the middle, and you can pull it tight, you see, as you're doing it. Make it tight, put it into a knot. Then you can also bring it round the back of the bow. Pull it tight like that, and that brings the loops forward as well. And then all you do again is if you just open it up, open the loops up to how you want them. Now the next bow I'm going to do is another big bow, very similar to this one, but it's what I would do for a car or for a really fancy bouquet. Just bear with me a minute because the dog wants to go out. There we go. And this one again is a variation of the first one, but we're going to make some fancy loops. So again, you want lots of ribbon out for this one. So this is the bow I would use for a car, or as I say, a fancy bouquet. So again, what we're going to do this time is leave a long strip, and then make a bow, make a loop. And again, we're going to do exactly the same, but this time we're going to make about 3, maybe 4 loops. And then we're going to make a long loop, like that. Looks a bit weird, so you've got one long loop, and then we're going to make another long loop at this side. Then we're going to do another 3 loops on either side, like that, and then leave another long strand. You get your middle tie and tie it in the centre of that, like so. Now then, this would tie onto a radiator or another loop, so I'm going to put it back on this. So we tie it on, bring it up and round and into the centre of the bow. Tie it nice and tight, bring it down the back of the bow, tie it nice and tight, put it into a double knot. Now, then with these long bits, what we're going to do is we're going to put them into fishtails. So you fold it at the end, fold it in half again, and make it into a fishtail. And we're going to do that with all of the long strands. And then when you get to the folded one, loop it in half, fold it in half again. And then you end up with a bow like that. And then you can put these long tassels, hang them down. You would cut off your strands. And you end up with a bow that has long trailers. And you would just pull those where you would want them. And it just gives the bow that something extra. It's ideal for hanging on the front of a wedding car. Now you can make all of these bows even more fancy by just adding a little bit of colour and another bow. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to make a small bow with satin ribbon. Very similar, we're going to use the same bows we've just done. So you get your small satin ribbon, you're going to make your loop, put it in your between your two fingers, make another loop, and I always twist it for some reason. You don't have to, but you can just gather it in. Make a loop, and you do that for, again, as many loops as you want. You can do the extra length ones if you wanted to, them extra tassels. And then when you get to where you want, again, these are normally cut satin, for some reason they're not. Then you get your tie. You can use the same colour tie as before or the same colour as the cloth, but I'm just going to use a paper tie because it's cheaper. Then you do the same, you gather your bow together, turn it round, make a knot. Then all you do is, usually we do it before we tie the bow to the item. You would first of all put that in the centre. I'll take this bow off. So you've got your chocolate box bow that we made here. You would get your little bow that you made, put it in the centre, bring it round the back, tie it off at the back, and then you would get both of these and tie it onto your bouquet. Again, you would bring them both round the front, go around the back of the little bow, tie it off, again around the edge of that, tie it off, snip those bits, snip your long tassels on your blue bit bow, and then you would just again alter your bow loops to where you want it. Open your little blue one up. This one's a bit small really for this bow. I would normally have done bigger loops, but you see the picture, you get a little blue centre and it just gives it that little bit of colour and something extra. And you can do that with all of the bows, if you wanted to. The only one that would be difficult is this one, whoops, this one here, because you've already given it a centre. So you wouldn't necessarily do it with that one, but any of these bigger bows that we've done would work. So there you go. I'll do another one of the small satin bows for you, just to give you another idea. So if you want to leave a small trail, then make the small loop, gather it in your hand. I'm going to make it slightly bigger. Make the loops the size that you want them to. The bigger the loop, usually the more you're going to need, just to give it that fullness. I hope I'm going slow enough for you. And then you just make the loops either side and pinch it in the middle. Twisting it can make the loop go in a different direction. So you can turn it so that your loops aren't all in the same direction like they are there. Then when you get it to where you want it, snip it off. With the small bows, you only need a very thin tie. Put the tie in the middle, scrunch your bow up, get a hold of it, bring it forward like that, tie it off, and then you've got a small bow if you wanted to. Now if you attach that to something, again, you would put it on to your bouquet. You would use this for a little small corsage. If you were using a corsage, you would wire that, put a wire around it, and then to wire it into your corsage. Or if you're putting it onto a little basket. But if you're putting it on, say, a basket handle or onto a very small bouquet of flowers, you would attach it like so across the middle of the bouquet, tie it into a knot. Like that. Then go around the back of the bouquet, one side of the bouquet, one side of the bow, tie it again, and then knot it this time. And see how that draws the bow in? And then knot it. And you can either, again, if depending on the colour tie, you can make it that little bit nicer just by giving it a few loops. Like that. Open your bow up. And then you have your little bow. Okay, so there you've got your different bows. You've got your, where have I put it? Never put it. Oh, your chocolate box bow with a little centre. You've got your extra fancy gift bow or car bow. You've got your standard florist's bow. That's your chocolate box bow with a curly centre. And then you've got your bow that's with the centre. So I hope that's all been helpful for you. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got any questions about anything that I've shown you in the video today, please ask it in the comments and I'll try my best to answer it. If it's your first time here, welcome. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. Please consider subscribing and hitting the bell to be notified when I do a video. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Thank you very much for watching again. I hope this has been helpful to you. Please leave a thumbs up on your way out. I'm going to love you and leave you. Please pass on a smile if you get the opportunity to, and I'll see you next time. Bye.